It was in the late 50s or the early 60s that Leslie Wexner began to work in his parents' clothing store in downtown Columbus, Ohio. His parents ran a small general women's clothing store that was appropriately named for their son. The dress shop was called Leslie's. Les frequently, as some of our children are prone to do, criticized his parents, thinking that their store carried too much merchandise and that it somehow confused customers, because when women walked into the store, they weren't quite sure where to find exactly what they were looking for. Tired of their son's criticism, Les's parents said to him, "Well, if you're so smart, open up your own dress shop." Well, he was that smart, and he opened up his own dress shop. This is one of the first stores that Les opened, and he very intentionally narrowed the merchandise and put in his stores clothing for young women. The year was 1963, and with this philosophy of a very particular kind of merchandise, he named his business The Limited. It did well. It was a swift success. And it remains a success today. And still, if you go into one of Les's stores, men or women, they will find in his stores a limited set of merchandise. When you walk in, you know exactly what you are looking for. Well, he was a very wealthy CEO within a very short amount of time, within several years, and a civic-minded leader. Les was often asked, "Will you lead our organizations in the Jewish world?" And it wasn't too long before he was asked by a major national Jewish organization, "Will you be our national chairman?" Les responded, "Who, me? I don't think so." Well, the organization was surprised and said, "Well, you're such a wonderful leader. Why won't you lead us?" And he said, "Because I don't know the stuff that you need me to know. And that stuff is Jewish history and Jewish text and a sense of the unfolding Jewish story. I don't have a serious Jewish education." And it occurred to Les that if that was his experience, others had the same experience, and that either individuals were saying yes without the proper background, or they were saying no. And either way, he determined, the Jewish community lost out. It was then that Les sought out the advice of Rabbi Herb Friedman of blessed memory, and together the two of them created this idea of a serious Jewish learning template that would somehow motivate and prepare talented leaders to step up as leaders in the Jewish community. It has been a wildly successful enterprise. And I want to take a minute to look at the elements that have made this so successful that all of us can be using in our own leadership development. The first is that we seek out and invest in talented individuals. We look for individuals who have demonstrated effective leadership. We look both within the mainstream of Jewish life, we look on the margins of Jewish life, and we look for outliers, those who have not yet exercised leadership in the Jewish world, but those we can invite in and bring to the Jewish leadership table. We value individual potential, we value their time, and we have tremendous respect for intellect. We believe in the capacity of individuals to make a difference. To be believed in is a most powerful gift. What does that gift look like in real time? First of all, we set the bar high. We set the bar high on who we select. We set the bar high on how the selection process unfolds. We ask candidates to think about why they want to be in the program. They have to write out answers in a complex process of applying. Now, I appreciate that that sometimes is difficult because we say yes to some and we say no to others. But we're looking for a particular kind of candidate to enter this program. We set the bar high on the faculty who teach in our seminars. We make it very clear that we're going to invest in you, both time and resources. And there is no equivocation on our end in terms of expectations. As some of us say, and some of us have heard when we've been on the other end of the phone, when we're invited to participate in a leadership activity, someone might say, you know, all you're going to have to do is, or you only need to do this or that. That is not what we say. This program is about mutual commitment. We take commitment very seriously. We ask our members to commit to the program and to its component parts. In fact, they have to check off that they accept the terms of agreement. But unlike I often do when I check off that box online and haven't read what I'm committing to, we place in front of our candidates a brief, a contract, a piece of paper that outlines exactly what they're going to need to commit to. They have to commit to attendance. Twice a month, 4 hours each seminar, 8 hours of serious Jewish learning a month. They commit to immersive institutes, 3 week-long experiences. They commit to graduate-level reading homework each week. We actually take attendance, and sometimes we're teased about that we're asking adults to call off their name and take attendance. But it's not just about being in the room, in the chair. They commit to being fully present. They commit to being present in spirit, to being present with all of their lived Jewish experience. They commit to listening to one another. They really commit to showing up in the fullest sense of that word. And I have to say that commitment on our end extends to partners and to spouses when that's appropriate. Because we know that if someone's on a Jewish journey, that you have to take along those with whom they share their lives as well. And the commitment extends well beyond the active phase of the program, and we have a robust and ongoing alumni network. The classroom itself is not a college classroom, nor is it some adult version of Hebrew school. It's a laboratory. It's a circle of learners. All of them are accomplished, and it is designed as an intentionally diverse cohort of limited size, 20 members in a class. And in that classroom, you will find voices from all over the Jewish world, different forms of Jewish expression, different denominations, but all of them know they've been believed in, and so they are grateful for being there. And we find that participants in our program want to earn it. They want to demonstrate that our investment in them really matters and that it will pay off. Our faculty are also diverse. They step into those classrooms from all over the map of the Jewish world, and I have to say that some of them step out of their own comfort zone. We ask them to deliver a balanced curriculum, to give rigorous academic material, and also to draw from that material authentic leadership lessons for contemporary reality, and that's not always easy. I would say that we provide an equal opportunity for discomfort in our classrooms. At its best, it is productive discomfort. What does that do? It allows people to really talk through and not around difference. It enables people to collaborate, to discover that they share some of the same challenges, some of the same visions. It allows them to seriously disagree and figure out exactly what it is that they're disagreeing about. We welcome tough questions. We encourage our members to bring their own case studies to the classroom, and ultimately, it's a space that we call a safe space. And it's hard to imagine, but in these classrooms, very, very important confidential conversations take place among 20 Jews, and it stays in the room. This is a leadership program. And while we don't have any one way that people should lead, any place we suggest that they must lead, we don't tell them you must do this or that. It is a leadership program. I'll quote Les Wexner, who says, "If I really knew where our individual participants should go to exercise leadership, if I knew where they should go so that we'd have a vibrant, robust Jewish future, I would tell them. But I don't know. And so I want you all over the Jewish map, figuring it out. I want you to go and lead where you think you can be the most successful, where you can do the best work on behalf of the Jewish people. We do have, and we integrate into our program, a leadership point of view. We believe that leadership is fundamentally about change. Leadership is fundamentally about change, and it's about changing in a collaborative setting. Change, we believe, requires brave souls because it always involves delivering loss. It always involves disappointing people. And successful leaders are able to disappoint people at a rate that the community is able to absorb. In a class of supportive peers, you will find a place to test your ideas, you will find your allies, you will find your collaborative partners, and you will muster up the courage to carry out your vision. Les took his own advice. Now this slide is hard to see. It is the attendance roster from the very first Wexner Heritage Seminar that Les attended. His name is there in yellow. He missed a couple of classes. We have forgiven him, and he's made them up. What we have found is in year after year after year, roster after roster after roster, we have found that serious, sustained learning in a classroom of talented, believed-in individuals, we find excitement for transformative Jewish leadership. Each of the components needs to be there. They're all essential. And when the map is put together, when the puzzle is put together, something else emerges. Passion. Passion comes out of those individuals. And it is that passion that ultimately fuels Jewish transformation. That's the secret, and it works. Thank you.